Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Brian Leonard and Tony Mejia of WagerTalk.com. We are talking Alabama, Tennessee here, Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time, -7.5. That's the Crimson Tide as the road favorite, 65 being the total. Brian, coming to you first. You know, this used to be a big rivalry. Now, hey, it's a pretty competitive price here. You think Tennessee has a shot as the dog?
Yeah, this is very interesting. I was looking to play Tennessee coming into this game. I thought we'd get a little bit more. I guess I was trying to be greedy. But this is one game where if you take a look at history, you don't want Tennessee. The Tide beat Tennessee last year 52-24. The prior year 48-17. In 2019, 35-13. In 2018, 58-21, and in 2017, 45-7, and of course in 2016, 49-10. Haven't even been close. Both teams defend their run very well. Alabama 2.39 yards per rush, Tennessee 2.79. But this Alabama running game does average 2.32 more yards per carry than Tennessee does. But Tennessee, the Volunteers have yet to throw an interception all season, and that leads me to a very interesting stat here. On the season, the Tide has a turnover differential of -6. I went back the last 7 seasons. During those 7 seasons, Alabama always had a positive turnover ratio. In fact, in 7 seasons, they're up 76 turnovers. So this is a team that normally physically dominates the opposition at about 11 turnovers a game in their favor. This year, they're down 6. I think it's exactly why this Alabama team has been disappointing. But with Tennessee not throwing interceptions, Tennessee is 28 for 28 in red zone success this year. This one is a game that I think will be one of those higher scoring games. I like the over in this game. I originally wanted Tennessee until I saw the obvious domination of Alabama in this series. Don't know if Tennessee's gotten there yet. I've been very impressed with Tennessee this year. It would not surprise me at all if they don't win this game. But I think it's a shootout. The passing game from Tennessee against the running game at Alabama. I think both teams have offensive success.
Some points on the board here. Mejia, coming to you next. You know, looking at the WagerTalk Live Odds screen, you can see the percentages of tickets and money. Looks like the public really pouring in here on the dog. Could this be a square dog situation on the Tennessee Volunteers? Or you think they have a real shot here as the home underdog?
Well, Alabama's typically pretty good, right? So I guess if everybody's on Tennessee, that could be a square play. But look, there's just so much uncertainty as we tape this on Tuesday, and it'll be up all week. And here's some things to monitor. Eli Ricks, top corner at Alabama, posts on Instagram on Tuesday, I know what to do, with him wearing an LSU uniform, which has everybody up in arms that he might transfer. And look, I bet you the Alabama D-backs room and the secondary room were just killed this Monday and over the weekend after a really subpar performance against Texas A&M. You let Haynes King go on down the field after those turnovers and instantly set you up in goal-to-go situations. That's on Alabama's secondary, and they really got taken advantage of by 2 wide receivers when Aeneas Smith is out. You've got Moose Muhammad and the freshman Evan Stewart, and they both did what they wanted when they needed to. And again, King is not a very good quarterback, certainly not Hendon Hooker. So I think that's something to monitor from Alabama's standpoint. And then Tennessee, their best safety, 4-year starter Jalen McCullough, arrested on Monday. And Josh Heupel says, I don't know if he's going to play. So if he doesn't play, you've got a pass defense that is 128th out of 131 Division I teams facing an Alabama passing attack. And then who's leading that Alabama passing attack? Is it Bryce Young, or is it the kid that really struggled to make anything happen and fumbled twice in Jalen? I forget his last name at this point, but he had a poor game. Was the reason why A&M hung around. And if it is Bryce Young, I think it was interesting that Nick Saban kind of mentioned, and we hope we have our starting quarterback next week immediately after the end of that A&M game, because that's not what Nick Saban typically does. He's typically has tunnel vision. So I don't know, with that injury, and Bryce Young has not thrown a ball in weeks, since he suffered that injury. They will try to get him loose, probably starting on Thursday. Is he going to be good to go? There's going to be a sellout crowd, over 100,000 people at Neyland Stadium. If it is the redshirt freshman playing for Alabama, that's a huge hit for the Crimson Tide. And look, there's no Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith on this Alabama roster. Before that, it was Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs. They've always had wide receivers you can count on. The Georgia transfer, Jermaine Burton, not on that level, and he's probably the best Alabama wide receiver at this point. So Jalen Milroe, if that is the guy, I got his name earlier, then I think Tennessee wins this game outright. If it is Bryce Young, then I think Tennessee has a great chance to at least cover if they get Jalen McCullough out in the lineup. They've been able to run the ball with Jabari Small really well. So this is a Tennessee offense that if it's going to happen, this will be the team that gets the upset done. Nick Saban 15-0 against Tennessee since taking over at Alabama, 11-4 against the spread, 7-0 in Knoxville, 6-1 against the number. So clearly they've averaged 29-point wins at Neyland Stadium. They bring their A game, but what is their A game this year? I'm not certain, especially after that A&M debacle. Now that's twice that they flirted with disaster, once at Texas and at home against A&M last weekend. So we'll see if Jalen Milroe can rise to the challenge if he's called upon again. If he is, I think it's Tennessee's game to lose.
Nice stats there, Tony. 11-4 ATS. Nick Saban against Tennessee. Tough to go up against. Tony Mejia, Brian Leonard, check them both out. WagerTalk.com. Guys, a good day to do so. Mondays, $9 Mondays. All plays from all handicappers discounted to just $9. Check it out. WagerTalk.com.